Hello, I'm Oral Gibbs, and welcome to Speaking of Everything. I have a very, very dynamic young lady. You know, she's been here many times before. Haven't been here, for the last 3 years. Miss Henry, she's the Secretary General for UNESCO here in St. Martin. How are you doing, Miss Henry?
I am doing fine. I'm so happy to be back here. It's always a privilege for me to be here, Oral, to come and share what I'm doing in regards to UNESCO, and so that your public, your audience knows what's happening.
I'm happy to have you here to speak about that. You're a lady doing so many different things. You're not only Secretary General for UNESCO, I think you're also president of Rotary.
Yes, I am also the president of the Rotary Club of St. Maarten'S Sunrise. This is actually my third time being
Your
president.
third time.
So I've done that. So
Wow.
I'm like, and I was speaking to them, and I'm like, I'll do it for you all now, but I need to ensure that there is continuity.
Yeah.
It can't always be a Miss Henry being president. I do, and what I've been doing is trying to groom the next upcoming presidents to
Yeah.
take over.
But you hold a record now for president, right?
Well, yes, I'm the first one in my club to be there for 3 times.
Wow. That's
Yes.
that's that's amazing.
Yes,
And,
yes,
and
yes.
which one the Rotary Club is that Sunrise? Huh?
Yes, we're the Rotary Club of St. Martin's Sunrise. We're the ones that meet 7 o'clock in the morning every Tuesdays. Every first Tuesday of the month, we meet face to face 7 o'clock
Wow.
in the morning. And I know that kind of difficult for some people. And
Uh-huh.
because of that, the club evolved. So we first Tuesday of every month, live. Every Wednesday, third Wednesday of the month, we meet in the evening online. So we try to
Oh.
accommodate, but since we're sunrisers, we need to keep one morning meeting.
No, I'm a morning person,
Okay.
and I look at those situations where people tell me why I can't get up in the morning. I love to do things early in the morning.
Me too.
Yeah.
That is mine. You have an optimum time where you
Yeah.
work really good. Morning time is my time.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm up 4, 5 o'clock doing something.
Right.
Yeah, that's my time.
And what else you do besides that?
Besides being the president of the Rotary
Uh-huh.
Club, I also an instructor at the University of St. Martin. I've been an instructor there
Long time, right?
for over, this must be 17 years
70
now.
wow.
Over 17 years, I teach in the teacher education program. So all of those St. Martin teachers who
Yeah.
choose to come USM,
Right.
they have probably been one of my students. And also at USM, I just piloted a new course there as well, and that is St. Martin Culture and Heritage course.
Wow.
So that is a new course that my person, along with Mrs. Juliana Hart Shipley and Miss Claudia Connor, we designed the course, and we have piloted now for over a year. So I'm now in my third 1 year and a half. So three, let's say, three cohorts, a group of students have passed through this course, and it's really a great course from the feedback we're
Somebody
getting,
culture.
and culture and history. So we go from way back,
Right.
meaning we start with the first people, the indigenous people coming here, to those Europeans, to the Africans that came here. We also focus as well on the topographical features, meaning our hills, our salt ponds, and all of those different things we focus on. Then we go into the core cultural aspect. We look at the various national foods, we look at the wear, we look at the traditions of the St. Martin people. So what is very important for this course, and me being the instructor, is to ensure that the correct information
Right.
is taught and brought forward to these individuals, and not only brought forward, that they now become the teachers. Because over the years, what we have noticed with having a vast migration of persons from all over the world on St. Martin, our core culture is not as visible as it should be. And therefore, the another objective of this course is to make the visibility of St. Martin's culture be known by its people, its visitors, and then they in turn teaching others.
Yeah.
So it is known by others. So we don't hear that foolish phrase that we always hear, in that St. Martin's culture is not there. St. Martin's culture is real, it is vibrant. It's just that we need to make it more
It's
visible.
alive and well.
Live and well and kicking, as they would say.
Yeah. I'm so happy to hear that because over the years, we've had a lot of teachers come from the neighboring Caribbean islands, and they bring their culture, their tradition, everything else. And I don't think it's the same when you have a child from St. Martin sitting in the classroom and you have a teacher from St. Martin than when you have one that come from somewhere, because
Correct.
it's not the same. But we didn't have teachers, so we had to take what we get.
Yes,
Right?
we have had most of the teachers, and if I reflect on my days when I was also teaching, we were always the minority. We were always the one or two or three.
Yeah.
There weren't no more than three or four of us in comparison to 12, 15 others.
Right.
So I do agree with that stance that it is different because the one who is from here that knows the cultural heritage is able to share it. But a lot of the migrant teachers that come here, there has not been a acculturation course, a course where
Exactly.
these teachers, it's mandatory that these teachers take this course so they know about the St. Martin's culture and heritage. Because if you don't know, how are you going to be able to impart it, especially if there isn't an interest? And that too has been a hindering factor, them not knowing
Yeah.
and the lack of interest. So
That's happening now. That will happen now.
well, I am hoping, and that is one of the reasons why we have this course at the University of St. Martin. This was one of the things that I felt, along with Miss Hodge and Miss Connor, we felt it was vital that
Yeah.
we have such a course that the teachers themselves can take this course and any other person in the community can take this course. And I am hoping with USM marketing the course
Yeah.
that we too can have the school board saying, well, we are sending our teachers this semester to take this course.
And I love it. You know what we should do? If you want to come here and live, you should take the course too.
Hey, hey,
Make it mandatory.
excellent. And that would be it's something that I would propose.
Yeah.
All new or even teachers that have been here over these years, take the course.
Yeah.
Because what is interesting with many of even the St. Martiners who have taken the course, when they finish the course, they say, but I didn't know this, I didn't know that, I didn't know that. So there are some gaps within our curriculum that also needs to be dealt with to ensure that it's strong enough that even our local bond hears,
Yeah.
they know these basic information and can share.
So the teacher education program, you get a lot of people applying, or
Well, that's the thing with teachers. Many persons, because, and I've heard this from many high school students, we see what teachers gone through, so we don't want to choose that profession. And that has been happening over the years. We don't have this vast number of high school students stating that they want to choose the teaching profession. So if I take USM as an example, every year, let's say if there was a graduation, there won't be no more than 5 to 10 persons graduating with a teaching profession, and sometimes even less than that. So that tells us that the teaching profession needs to be marketed more, marketed as a profession that is a worthy one, it's a calling. And even though they might see what their teachers are going through presently, you can be the one to make that change, be that change agent, and make that spark. So we want more persons to be choosing the teaching profession.
and understand that men are like
Men,
impossible.
men have really abandoned, I want to use that word, a lot of men, I don't want to say all because I can't generalize, because a lot of men have abandoned the teaching profession. But I can't say that in the high schools there are more male teachers than there are in the elementary schools. In the elementary schools, if there is 1 or 2 male per school, it's a big thing. And what has happened over the years, these male teachers have been really moving towards like physical education. So we
Okay.
don't want just physical education, we want actual classroom teachers. But that can improve with new revamping and
Yeah.
marketing of the teaching profession, and also giving incentives. Incentives for choosing the profession.
It's needed now to attract people. right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we can do that.
Definitely. Anything else you're doing that I don't know about?
Well, another thing that I am doing that was recently announced, I'm also part of the committee for the reparation committee of that deals with the slavery. I'm also a member of that committee right now. So reparation committee, if you want to look at it here on St. Martin, with the the Prime Minister of the Netherlands, Mr. Mark Rutte, giving that apology for the Netherlands' contribution or part in slavery and so forth. St. Martin has developed its own committee to deal with this issue of this apology, or to respond to this apology, and also to look at ways in which St. Martin can benefit from this said apology and these funds that was said to be made available. What will it be made available for? And therefore, this committee will be brainstorming and coming up with a plan for St. Martin in regards to whatever this figure of funds that is supposed to be distributed, what it should be utilized for. So that would be one of the goals of the committee.
Yeah, because I understand that the Dutch government's part of it. It will be towards some kind of information, etc. I don't understand.
Yeah, it can be towards information, yes, but then how does it trickle down to St. Martin, and more so, how does it trickle down to the common person on the road and whatever? We need to find tangible things. How can the normal common person, you, me, benefit from this particular funds that have been set aside? And therefore, we need to come up with a strategy for that.
Very interesting. I'll be looking.
Yeah. So that is also something that I'm also a part of, and we recently were formed about 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago.
How many persons are there? A lot of.
There are eight persons, 8 or 9 persons, if I'm not mistaken.
I hope I can get whoever is.
Sure, definitely.
That would be interesting to hear what you all think about the whole
Correct.
thing.
And I know that from our second meeting that we had last week, the process of determining who would be the chairperson, the secretary, etc., that too would be decided upon. So probably in a future broadcast,
Definitely.
that person can come back.
Definitely. Anything else?
There are other things, but those are the 3 that I will stick to for now.
You haven't received a medal?
No, I have not received a royal medal. No.
You're such a hard-working St. Martin lady.
Thank you.
Hard-working. And sometimes I see these people that they give medals to, and I say to myself, my God, man, you're overlooked. Not for long, anyway. Yeah.
Well, for me, it would be an honor if I were, was to receive. But for me personally, it's about the work.
Yeah.
I just do whatever I can with the knowledge and skills that I have, and hopefully, by participating and do so, some kind of change, whatever I'm doing, can be made come to fusion. That's one of my goals then.
Good. If you just joined us, I'm Oral Gibbs here and speaking about everything with Miss Marcellia Henry, right?
Marcellia Henry.
Marcellia. See, I changed your name now.
Hey, no problem with that. I'll take it.
That's not good. She's my guest there. And speaking of everything, she's Secretary General for UNESCO in St. Martin. And you are listening to us in the Hot 99.9 FM radio station, Facebook, YouTube, and TV Caribbean. It's so good because you're an example of what our people can be. The dedication you put into what you do, and you do it out of love, and that's so rare in St. Martin.
Well, thank you. You got me here blushing. Yeah, but to me, I agree. Thank you for that, for those kind words. For me personally, who I am, whatever I do, whether it's the simplest thing, I know. I didn't tell you one other thing I do. I'm the director for my church. My children's church at my Baptist church. That's the Baptist church. Yeah. That's something I'm doing. I'm the director for the children's church. So there are many other things that I do as well. But whatever I do it to the best of my ability.
That's good.
Yeah.
Now, UNESCO, anything new happening this year that you want to share with us?
Sure, I can mention in regards to UNESCO, we will be working diligently with the Department of Culture. Which we have done over the previous years, but this year even more so.
Yeah.
we will be launching what is known as iRich. I remember intangible cultural heritage, where we will be having a website dedicated to showing how rich St. Martin is in regards to its culture
Okay.
heritage. So that's one of the things that I'll be working with the culture department. We are planning as well to have posters, to have booklets, to have let's say, manipulatives, coloring books, different things to showcase the rich cultural heritage of St. Martin. So that is one of the things that I'm very proud about, that I will be working with the culture department. And with the culture department this year as well, we will be looking again at our intangible cultural heritage inventory that we compile. Way back in 2019, we compiled a list comprising of St. Martin's oral traditions, our performing arts, our social practices, our knowledge of things of the universal craftsmanship. So we're going to have this particular list come back to the community. We're bringing it back to the community for them to take another look at it.
Okay.
Because with every inventory or list of what people consider to be theirs, according to UNESCO, it's essential that every 3 or even 5 years, whatever is chosen by the member state, to bring it back to the community and let the community reflect on this list and see, or did we miss out anything that is St. Martin's cultural heritage that is not there that we need to include? Or are there certain aspects of our cultural heritage that is not practiced anymore? And we need to have that removed from this list and put on the list as our cultural heritage that unfortunately has gone, it's past, it's not practiced anymore. So during the course of this year, I will be coming back to the community, and I will have the community reflect on this list.
But Ms. Henry, you have dominant culture and you have subcultures.
Correct.
When it comes to St. Martin, as a St. Martiner, and you are also, I'm concerned. You see, a culture can evolve,
Yes, it can.
and it should evolve. But the way our culture is evolving, I'm worried.
You're worried. You're worried in the sense that it is not being practiced, it's not being transmitted from one generation to another,
Or we're being gobbled up by the subcultures.
or being gobbled up by the subculture.
Maybe that's a little extreme.
Okay.
But I'm exaggerating.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
admit
but
that.
it's a valid point, because you're saying that, which is one of the reasons for this Irish campaign and so forth. We need to make the St. Martin's culture more visible, more vibrant, more known by the masses, and I agree. And that's why this campaign is very important to counter what you're seeing now. You're saying that we unfortunately, in your opinion, we have become the subculture to the more dominant culture, which might possibly be the case, but we have to reverse that. Nothing is cut in stone that we can't do something about it. And because it is now considered as a problem, is considered as something that needs to be fixed, we can do something about it. And that's one of our objectives.
Anytime we go anywhere in St. Martin, it's hard to be among your own people.
Yeah.
I was invited to the PMIA
The
Hall
PMIA
recently
Hall. Yes.
by Miss Holiday, and almost every year they invite me. And I made it this year for sure. And I was so impressed, and I felt so proud.
Yes.
You know why I felt so proud? Here you have this organization. It was funded by St. Martin people,
Yes.
still going. And at the same time, I was happy to be among my own people. Not alone, but
No.
it was a strong cultural feeling of your own people. And that's oftentimes very lacking in St. Martin.
Okay.
And just last week, someone told me they went to a function, and that function had like 98% St. Martin people. They felt so happy. When I heard that person admitting that to me, nothing against outsiders.
No, I
But it's nice sometimes to be among your people, sing and enjoy your culture, and that's what's so lacking in St. Martin
Okay.
most of the times.
Okay, so therefore, what I'm hearing from you, from sharing that, we have to, and this is one of the things, I'm reflecting back on some of the courses or the classes that I've been part of, that I've had the ability to teach, and with these Martin Culture and Heritage course that I've been doing, not only at the university but before as well, I would send these students activities that are happening now. And I'll just use, for instance, the St. Martin Crafters Association. They have their paper apparel competition
Very
coming
nice.
up.
Right.
And I'm like, okay. And I sent it to them and I'm like, how many of you all have participated or have seen this before? And I will constantly send them other things. Like, for instance, we had the major cultural parade. And I would send them information. How many of you all know about that? And a lot of them don't know. And again, it goes back to ensuring that in cases as such where St. Martin's culture is being on full display, that we need to ensure that we do more of a marketing campaign so that those who don't know become aware, because there are constant activities that goes on an annual basis. And I know that the SHTA have put together a calendar, but the calendar alone is not suffice. We have to do more of a marketing campaign of our cultural activities, our cultural events, so that these segments, or I would say these aspects of our cultural heritage, are more visible and known by all. And yes, I agree, it allows the St. Martin cultural heritage to be there, but it's also important for, yes, our people will be there to showcase, but we also need to educate the others, so that they can know and they can see the beautiful culture of St. Martin. I don't want the St. Martin culture to
No.
be one of those
Yeah.
unknown
Not only
things.
see, but also respect.
And respect it, I
Because
agree.
there's a lot of disrespect, I find,
Yes.
at times, for us and our way of life on
Yeah.
this island. It should not be.
And I agree.
I have to go to a quick break.
Sure.
When I come back, we're going to continue speaking with Miss Henry right here on Speaking of Everything. Please stay with us.
Make use of WIB mobile banking with easy access and direct usage of face recognition, PIN code, or fingerprint. Download WIB mobile banking app and make your transaction from anywhere at any time. For more information, visit wib-bank.net/quick-login.
Hot 99.9 FM radio station. If you would like to advertise, give us a call, 520-6070. That's 520-6070 if you like to advertise on Hot 99.9 FM radio station. I'm Earl Gibbs here with Miss Henry. Miss Henry is the Secretary General for United Nations UNESCO organization here in St. Martin. And always a pleasure having you in the program.
Oh, it's a
Time is
pleasure to
going
be
so
here.
fast.
Yes.
I'm looking at my time and I only have a few minutes remaining. So is there anything else
Sure.
you're all focusing on this year? Or that's the main one. The
Well, I
culture?
can
Yeah.
also tell you what we also will be doing. One of the goals of my office is to ensure that aspects of St. Martin's cultural heritage become part of the existing school curriculum and also the after school program. So for this year, for instance, coming up, we're going to be having a kite making and kite flying
Wow, that's
competition
nice. That's
that we're
nice.
going to have part of the after school program.
No, we used to have that when we were small.
We used to have that. So again, key aspects of our
Yeah.
cultural heritage is what my office will be doing. Things such as doll making and even the crochet and those things, those craftsmanship is one of those things that I'm going to ensure that
Yeah.
we continue to channel through the after school programs and then eventually have it become part of the school curriculum. So right now we have Mr. Lambert Holder, who is the one
Right.
who assists with the wire bending program. So he will continue to do that in the afternoon school program at the Mac school. He's at the Mac Maynard. He's at the Sister Borgia. He has a St. Joseph school. And I know I'm missing one other school, but Aranya school. We will continue to expand the programs. And then I know that for over the past year, and I'm also going to be speaking with Miss Lucinda from the Funtopia. We're again going to reach out to her to have
she's
this.
doing a great job.
She's doing a great job. But the wonderful thing is because our office, we collaborated with her, that we were able again to have it in the afternoon school and also to participate in her Makajumbi festival.
Nice.
So we're going to continue to collaborate with her, and we're going to do more.
Yeah. And how you get the funding for all of this?
Yes, the funding for this comes from our UNESCO office in Paris, and also we do have some funding that we receive from our local government, because the reality is the St. Martin National Commission for UNESCO is part of the government organization as well. So I do need to let persons be aware of that. One more thing I can mention that will be coming out along with the 4C Foundation. We will be launching Swalichi Stories Volume 2, where we have these local stories, St. Martin folk tales being narrated. And not only narrated, we're going to have them in education format. They're going to be lesson plans. They're going to be different things for teachers to utilize. Again, the funding came from UNESCO. So my aim for this year, get more of our intangible cultural heritage in the afternoon school, in the schools, and also to have aspects of our cultural heritage and the inventory be more visible.
That's good. How long now you been Secretary General of UNESCO?
I've been Secretary General since 2012.
Oh.
So I've had
11
10 years and 10 years now, going in 11 years in this post. And I was saying I think I was speaking to my colleague from Curacao, who's also the National Commission for UNESCO. And I was telling her, because she too has another person in the office. And I was telling her, if I only had an office of 3 or 4 persons, think about the magnitude, the more work that could be and can be accomplished for St. Martin.
You're a one-lady act?
Just a one-lady act. And this one-lady act needs to be expanded. And that is also one of my goals. We need the office to be staffed.
Well, Ms. Henry, I want to thank you. Always a pleasure having you on the program.
Yes.
Hope we can have you back later on the year.
My pleasure.
Okay. Wish you all the best in your family, all right?
Thank you so much.
And you're welcome. And that's it for now. I'll see you next time on Speaking of Everything on Hot 99.9 FM radio station. Take care. Bye.